Hello there, seventh grade. Yes, these questions are a bit long. I definitely want you to put quite a bit of thought into them, and you're actually only answering one question this week. You'll answer one question, you'll comment on a question, and then you'll comment on someone else's comment. So you should have 3 total entries. And if you have any questions about that, you can ask me later in the Zoom meeting on Monday at 11 if anybody needs clarification. I'm going to start with the second page of our reading. I'm skipping the poem, so it's page 25. No one had to point out that I was different from everyone else in our village. It was clear from the first day I began climbing the gree-gree tree and staying up there for hours. Which, by the way, there's a picture of your gree-gree tree on the slide there. "What's wrong with your daughter?" neighbors asked Mommy. "She's not right in her head," they answered themselves, when Mommy only shrugged her shoulders. Papa would say, "Nothing wrong in sitting in a tree. It's the same as sitting on a porch, except it's higher." Roberto would climb up with me sometimes, but he got bored quickly and swung down, yelling like a monkey. Angela shook her head at me and said I would never be a real chica, because chicas do not climb trees when they are 12 years old. Not even Guarillo understood. Although he tried, he asked me once what I did up there. That was more than anyone else had ventured to inquire. I told him I looked around. He asked if I didn't think I was wasting a lot of time when I could be doing something to prepare for my future, such as studying English. Guarillo always had his mind on the future. Sometimes I think that he was tormented by all of us who didn't particularly care what tomorrow was going to bring. And really, what was there to know? Either it would rain or it would not. But it was definitely going to be hot. And Mommy was going to cook, and Poppy was going to sit on the porch, and the radio was going to play merengues all day. That was for sure. Besides, I already knew what I wanted to do in my future. I wanted to be a writer. But only Mommy knew that. If I told Guarillo, he would say I was unreasonable. If I told anyone else, they would laugh. But on my gree-gree tree, I could be anything I wanted to be, even a writer with words for everything I saw from my leafy green hideout. I could see the ocean glittering silver in the sunlight. I could see people trudging along the dusty road from Sosua, some balancing buckets of water on their heads. I could see boys playing baseball in the schoolyard with a tree branch bat and a rubber band ball. I could see the river meandering over rocks, hungry for rain. Far off in Puerto Plata, I could see Mount Isabel de Torres, a green giant with misty white curls dancing round her head. I could see the sleepy lagoon and the sad little homes of the lagoon people. I could see the birds that flew past my gree-gree, their ruby and gold velvet feathers shimmering on their tiny bodies. I could see the rainbows that glowed in the sea sky after a rain passed. I could count the sunset roses in Senora Garcia's backyard. I could see my teacher climbing the hill near her house, and I could see Poppy sitting on her porch, nodding off to sleep. Then one day I saw something that I'd never seen before, and I was so scared that I almost fell out of the tree. There I was, looking at the sea, when suddenly out of it rose a giant monster, tall and black and covering the sun with its shadow. Before I could scream, the monster fell back into the sea. I'm going to skip ahead here to page 38. And, if you read that intervening pages, you'll find out what happened with, the monster. And actually, I'm on page 39 at the very last paragraph here. And this is after Ana Rosa has written her story. When the people saw me, they got quiet. Someone turned off the radio. Some woke the children on their laps. Poppy moved from his chair and put his arm around my shoulders. He led me to the front of the porch. Then everyone watched me and waited. I stood there trembling, holding that notebook with my story close to my heart. I knew right then that this was it. The whole world would find out about me. I stopped thinking. I just started to read. I did not look at anyone, not Poppy or Mommy or Angela. I read and read until I returned to the last page of the story. There, the other sea creatures invited the lonely sea monster to a big underwater fiesta, even though there is no one like him around, and even though he is so big that he knocks over many of them with his big nose and tail. And the sea monster is so happy that he leaps out of the ocean, sending sparkling waves all around him in a giant ring of light. I looked up then, and I saw many things at once. I saw Poppy sitting on the edge of his chair, strange and silent. I saw Mommy with her hands folded and her head bowed as if praying. I saw the neighbors smiling and nodding their heads. Then I saw Guarillo, who must have walked up to the edge of the porch while I was reading. It was Guarillo's face I focused on. He was smiling. My big, strong brother who worried about our future. My serious Guarillo, who almost never smiled, suddenly let out a loud whoop and grabbed me up. He spun me around and around. Little sister, I'm buying you a new notebook every month, no matter what, he shouted. So that's near the end of the reading, and just thought it was a nice kind of counterpoint to last week's reading, and Anna Rosa taking her brother's notebook, and there being obviously a lot of angst around that. So I hope you're enjoying this book. Like I said, if you have any questions about what we're doing this week with the questions themselves for the Padlet discussion, go ahead and drop in Zoom 11 to 12 on Monday, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.